All right, so let's learn how to actually place a signal and stake your GRT to a subgraph once you know what you want. So I'm going to go ahead and I've already done the research as to which subgraph I intend to signal to. So now let's actually get started. So the first step is to connect your wallet. You can do that by going to the Graph Explorer, and then in the top right here, there's a connect button. Click on that, click on MetaMask, and if you don't already have a MetaMask wallet, go to metamask.io and you can download their extension for whichever browser you're currently using. That'll help you create a wallet, and you'll need both Ethereum and GRT in your MetaMask wallet to signal onto a subgraph. If you only have Ethereum, then you can send the Ethereum to your MetaMask wallet, and then you can swap some of your Ether for GRT. So I already have both Ether and GRT in my wallet, so I'm going to go ahead and connect. And I'm going to connect to MetaMask. It's going to open up a transaction. I click Next. And now we're connected. That was the entirety of the hiring process to be a curator. You are now hired. So I'm going to find the subgraph that I intend to signal to, which is going to be this one. Just for a example video, I'm going to show you some of the features over here. So one of the first things to know is that a subgraph can have multiple different deployments or different versions. This one currently has one version. If we go back and we look at Audius, we can see Audius has version 1 and version 1.0.0. And you'll see down here that the deployment ID, or the actual combination of files in IPFS, it creates this hash. And if you look at a previous version, it creates a different hash. So this one ends in DYN8. This one ends in FMLW. Maybe that's FM1W. So when you go to Signal, let me go back to the other one. Well, we'll stick with Audius. When you go to Signal, you have the ability to choose a specific version that you want to stake your GRT to. Or you have the ability to signal on this specific subgraph. This is also called a GNS. So when you place your signal on auto migrate, if Audius wanted to publish version 2, with auto migrate, your signal will transfer to the latest version. Now, you may not want that. Currently, I very much so recommend that, but you may want to stake it onto a specific subgraph if you aren't wanting to test their ability to sync with a new one. They might publish an update which has sync issues or something where they might not actually want to use it. Generally speaking, if someone publishes an update that fails, they're going to publish another update on top of that, at which point your auto migrate will just transfer to the next one. There is a tax that goes with auto migrate. When they go to publish, they will be charged 1.25% tax as the publisher, and then they will also tax the overall curation reserve by 1.25%. So you'll see a share price drop when that happens. When you're first starting out, I definitely suggest using auto migrate until you're a little bit more familiar with the system. Then you can start playing with versions, but for now, auto migrate it is. So let's go back to the subgraph that I intend to signal on, which is going to be Cream Iron Bank in this example. And when we click on signal, the first thing we see is the version. I'm going to do auto migrate. The next part is you get to see the current price per share, which it looks like for every 300 GRT you stake, you will get 1 share at the current price. Now, when you're done signaling and you go and you check this out, this number should have increased because with each person who's minting new shares, the share price increases. Currently, we can see there's a total of 150 shares, 150.3 shares. So I'm going to stake an additional 50 GRT, which you can see that's going to get me an additional 0.16 shares compared to the current 6.47 that I already have. Down here, you're going to see the tax. Every time you signal, there's a 2.5% tax. So 1.25 GRT is going to get burned in this process. and then you'll see a price impact. Now there is a warning here, we've talked about this in other videos, that subgraphs may not be deployed by the project teams, and the value of curation shares can fluctuate significantly up or down. When you first go here, there'll be two buttons. One of them will be an infinite approve, which allows you in the graph to, or your wallet in the graph to connect and basically play nice together indefinitely. Otherwise, each time when you signal it, it'll first say, hey, do you want to spend a very small amount of gas approving your interaction with the graph? After the infinite approval, then you'll just see one box where it says signal. So I'm going to go ahead and click on that, and then we can see the gas prices, which are currently 18. So we hit confirm, and now it's processing. You can see the three dots that are blinking right there. And you don't have to sit on the screen to wait. You can click on View Transaction in Etherscan, and it'll tell you where you're at. Okay, perfect. So we can see here that the transaction was a success. We've got one block confirmation. If we reload the page, now we can see we got 10 block confirmations. So here, just to break down what the transaction looks like. So from my wallet, I'm sending to the graph proxy, which is the smart contract that holds all of the different subgraphs or the different GNS that we see. GNS stands for Graph Naming System. If you're at all familiar with web dev, you've heard the term DNS for a website. This is our GNS. And you can see we spent 50 GRT giving it to the GNS. The GNS then entered or signaled 50 GRT on the specific deployment, which is our current version, which would be this deployment ID. If the GNS or the subgraph went to upgrade, it would then move our signal to the new deployment. And then here's our 2.5% tax. That's the GRT that's getting burned to OXO. And then we received 0.16204 curation shares on this subgraph. So that's it. We are now signaling on Cream Iron Bank. If curation goes up on this subgraph, then our 50 GRT will go up along with that. But also, this is a newer one that I'm expecting to see some query fees coming in hopefully soon. And I'm excited to earn some query fees on it.